Hello and welcome to Haldar E-Academy online platform. So in my previous class, I have discussed the poem My Last Duchess written by Robert Browning, and I told you that it was a dramatic monologue, and I also have explained you the poem, the background of the poem as well as what is the meaning convey over here. So let's now start the question and answers that was left in my previous class. I told you that it will hardly take like 10 to 15 minutes to discuss all the question answers, including 2 marks and 6 marks. So today I'm going to complete this part. Okay. So now directly go to the exercise. Okay. So the first question is of 2 marks. It is written, what type of a lady was the Duchess? ঠিক আছে, তো ফার্স্ট কোয়েশ্চেনে যেটা বলেছে যে ডাচেস কীরকম টাইপের লেডি ছিলেন। তো দেখো আমরা পোয়েমটা পড়ার সময় আমরা দেখেছি যে ডাচেসকে কীরকম বলা হয়েছে, ভীষণ সিম্পল একজন লেডির কথা বলা হয়েছে, জেন্টেল অ্যান্ড শি ওয়াজ innocent you may say, very easily pleased, and she appreciated every little gesture. She was ready to thank all the people who were kind and who showed her the gesture of gifting some little things or to praise her. She even blushed for that reason as well. ঠিক আছে, তো আমরা আনসারটা ঠিক কিভাবে বলবো 2 মার্কসে, যে as per the poem The Last Duchess written by as per the poem My Last Duchess written by Robert Browning. Browning here states that the Duchess was very gentle, innocent and simple lady. Although she was a duchess, but she was easily pleased even by little gestures that were shown to her, not only by the people of higher rank but from common people as well. ঠিক আছে, এভাবে লিখবে, she thanked them and blushed for the reason. She appreciated every small things, including the small things of nature as well. She valued the precious gifts from the duke, but she praised the little things as well given to her by the common people. ঠিক আছে, এইটা লিখে দেবে। 2 মার্কসের জন্য অনেকটা বড়ই হয়ে গেল, একটু ছোট করেও নিজের মতো লিখতে পারো, বাট বলে দিলাম। নেক্সট দেখি কি বলছে 2 মার্কসটা। হোয়াট ক্যারেক্টারিস্টিক ট্রেট অফ দ্য ডিউকস ক্যারেক্টার ক্যান বি discerned when he refers to the bronze statue of Neptune? বলছে ডিউকের কোন ক্যারেক্টারিস্টিক ট্রেট আমরা জানতে পারি যখন তিনি নেপচুনের যে ব্রোঞ্জের স্ট্যাচুটা ছিল সেটা তিনি ডেসক্রাইব করছিলেন। ওকে, সো ফার্স্ট here we can see that the statue of Neptune taming a seahorse was a rare piece of artwork, and it was given to the Duke by Claus of Innsbruck, who only crafted the statue for the Duke. This shows the love of art and craft that the Duke bestowed 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 মানে হচ্ছে অর্পণ করা, প্রদান করা বলতে পারো। But there is another part over here. Neptune was the sea god. Was লিখবে না, Neptune is the sea god who could be seen taming a seahorse. Means here the Duke is as if taming his Duchess. So it's a power that the men were showing towards the women in Victorian society. That also shows that women were objectified and were totally under the control of their powerful husbands. ঠিক আছে? Enough. Number 3 কি বলছে? Analyze my last Duchess as a dramatic monologue. বেশ, এটা 6 মার্কস। 6 মার্কস মানে হচ্ছে 50 ওয়ার্ডস এর মধ্যে। তো মোটামুটি বলে দিই কিরকম। Analyze my last Duchess as a dramatic monologue. So first of all আমাদেরকে বলতে হবে what is dramatic monologue. So dramatic monologue is a writing poems in dramatic monologue is a type of writing where there is a active speaker who is speaking to someone else who is a silent listener. ঠিক আছে? The silent listener can be anyone who only would listen to the speaker. It can be the readers, it can be someone else. ঠিক আছে? So here the Duke was speaking to the silent listener who was an envoy. Sorry, Dara. Envoy of a count. Who was the envoy of a count? হ্যাঁ, মানে কাউন্টের তরফ থেকে এসছেন। Here the Duke was speaking about her Duchess, her late Duchess, হ্যাঁ, যিনি মারা গেছেন, her late Duchess. So throughout the poem we can see that how Duke described the physical beauty of the Duchess and how innocent the Duchess was, and how she praised every little thing that was offered to her by any common people. And she also valued those little things with the precious jewels that the Duke used to brought for her. But the Duke described all those things not only in a praiseworthy manner, but with a criticized tone. He also, without knowing, the Duke throughout the conversation showed to the silent listener, that was the envoy of the count, that how jealous and how cruel he was, who can ordered to stop her wife's smile, which means he put an order to death. And now again at the end of the poem, the Duke also clarified to the envoy that he was going to take a good amount of dowry from the count to marry his beautiful daughter. Although he stated that Count's beautiful daughter was the foremost thing that he was looking for, but he knows that the Count would give him a good amount of dowry. He also showed the statue of Neptune taming a seahorse, that showed to the readers that showed to the envoy of the count as well as to the readers that he wanted to take his wives and wanted to exercise his power towards his wives, whom he took as an object. ঠিক আছে, এটা হচ্ছে ড্রামাটিক মনোলগ এবং এটা হচ্ছে টেকনিক। ওকে, এখানে একটা কথা বলে দেবে প্রত্যেকটা আনসারে, যেটা আমি বলতে ভুলে গেছি, দ্যাট দ্য ডিউক ওয়াজ শোয়িং আ পেন্টিং টু দ্য এনভয় অফ দ্য কাউন্ট। ঠিক আছে, কীভাবে লিখবে সেটা আমি লাস্ট কোয়েশ্চেনে বলে দিচ্ছি। হাউ ইজ পাওয়ার সিনড্রোম কনভেইড ইন মাই লাস্ট ডাচেস। ঠিক আছে, তো এইভাবে বলবে যে ফার্স্ট কোয়েশ্চেনে যেটা বলেছি, হোয়াট টাইপ অফ আ লেডি ওয়াজ দ্য ডাচেস, 2 মার্কসে কিছু বলার দরকার নেই। What characteristic state of Duke's character can be discerned when he refers to the bronze statue of Neptune, এটাও 2 মার্কস, এখানে বলার দরকার নেই। থার্ড কোয়েশ্চেনে একটা লাইন তোমরা লাগিয়ে নেবে, এখানে একটা অ্যাড করে নেবে, যে ফার্স্ট লাইনটাই যে আফটার টেলিং হোয়াট ইজ ড্রামাটিক মনোলগ, এটা বলবে দ্যাট ইন দ্য পোয়েম মাই লাস্ট ডাচেস, the imaginary Duke of Ferrara was showing a painting that was painted by the imaginary artist Fra Pantlow to an envoy of a count who was the silent listener of this poem. In the way to talking to the envoy of the count, the Duke, by using the dramatic monologue, revealed that বলে তোমরা বাকিগুলো বলতে পারবে নিজের মতো করে, যে তিনি দেখিয়েছিলেন যে কীভাবে যে ডাচেস কতটা সিম্পল ছিল অ্যান্ড হাউ জেলাস হি ওয়াজ, বলে বাকি যেগুলো বললাম সেগুলো তোমরা লিখতে পারবে। ঠিক আছে, ওইটা একটা লাইন একটু অ্যাড করে দেবে। নেক্সট আমি দেখো লাস্টেটা বলছি, হাউ ইজ পাওয়ার সিনড্রোম কনভেড ইন মাই লাস্ট ডাচেস, এখানে বলবে। সো ফার্স্ট অফ অল ইউ নিড টু সে দ্যাট মাই লাস্ট ডাচেস, it was partly set in the Renaissance period and partly in Victorian period। হ্যাঁ, কারণ যে সালটা রবার্ট ব্রাউনিং জন্ম এবং মৃত্যু, তো সেখানে কিছুটা রেনেসা কিছুটা ভিক্টোরিয়ান এজ সেখানে ঢুকে থাকে। অ্যান্ড ভিক্টোরিয়ান এজ ওয়াজ মার্কড by the objectification of women in front of their powerful husband, যেটা আমি দেখবে আগের কোয়েশ্চেনেও বললাম। ঠিক আছে, এটা বললে তো নেক্সট কি বলবে, যে here the Duke described to the silent listener who was an envoy of the count that how the last Duchess's painting was beautifully painted by the artist Fra Pantlow, who made it a lifelike painting of the Duchess that shows the Duchess blushing in the painting. The Duke also told the envoy of the Count that the Duchess was very innocent and could be easily pleased to all of them who gave him little things, and he even thanked them and blushed. So it is not something that was praiseworthy to the Duke, but the Duke considered would to be insulting towards him, because the Duchess always pay the same value towards the Duke's precious jewelry gifts as well as the common gifts from common people. So he wanted to control his wife, but even to state this issue to the Duchess was something that the Duke felt insulted. He did not even wanted to discuss those things with his wife, which marks a communication gap. And without realizing the Duke showed his true nature, that how jealous and cruel he was towards his wife, that at last he ordered to stop her smile. That means he ordered to end the Duchess's life. The poem also showed that the Duke has only the power to reveal the Duchess's painting in front of the guest, because, and it also signifies that he wanted to control his wife even after her death. And at the last, towards the last of the conversation with the envoy of the count, he showed another feature of his characteristic, which lies in getting dowry, an immense amount of dowry from a count, whose daughter the Duke is going to marry. Although the daughter is very beautiful and fair, but the Duke is going to take a dowry, an immense dowry from the count as well. He also showed the statue of Neptune to the envoy of the count, that showed that the sea god Neptune was taming a seahorse, which symbolizes that the Neptune was taming that also symbolizes that the Duke was taming his wife. So he wanted to exercise his powers over the woman whom he considered to be an object. So Victorian age was marked with these things, and those practices were written by Tennyson in his poem, by Robert Browning in his poem My Last Duchess. ঠিক আছে, এইভাবে লিখবে। তো এইরকমভাবে নিজেদের মধ্যে একটুখানি করে নেবে, তো 6 মার্কস এবং 2 মার্কসের আনসার্সগুলো দেখবে, নিজেদের মতনই হয়ে যাবে। ওকে, so this is it for today. Hope you understand how to write those question and answers, and you understand, you may say, the summary of the poem as well. So stay with Haldar Academy. With my next class, I will meet you. Until then, have a nice day. Bye-bye.